What's up, fellas? It's your main man back here with another video. Marvel in Crisis. Is that a surprise? Is anyone surprised? They've been running a crap show for the longest, the past few years. Like I've said on many occasions, Endgame should have been just that, the end. But they're hard-headed and greedy. Crises at Marvel, Jonathan Majors' backup plans, the Marvels, reshoots, reviving original Avengers, and more issues revealed by Tatiana Siegel. This past September, a group of Marvel creatives, including studio chief Kevin Feige, assembled at Palm Springs for the studio's annual retreat. Most years, the vibe would have been confident, even cocky, given how the premier superhero brand owned by Disney since 2009 has remade the entertainment business in its image. Yeah, they owned the market for a while. They owned it. Everybody was talking about Marvel. Now, nobody. I mean, complete 180. And it's their own dumbass fault. But this occasion was angst ridden. Everyone at Marvel was reeling from a series of disappointments on screen, a legal scandal involving one of its biggest stars, which is a bunch of BS, small line slut, and questions about the viability of the studio's ambitious, allegedly. Gotta put that in there. Line slut, allegedly. Ambitious strategy to extend the brand beyond movies into streaming. The most pressing issue to be discussed at the retreat was what to do about Jonathan Majors. He wasn't convicted of this is the stuff I don't like. He wasn't convicted of anything. Just an accusation. I don't like that. It's like you're guilty before you're proven guilty. Because someone said so. He did this to me. There's a lot of lying whores out there. So. The actor who had been poised to carry the next phase of Marvel Cinematic Universe, but instead is headed to a high-profile trial in New York later this month on domestic violence charges. The actor insists he is the victim, but the damage to his reputation and the chance he could lose the case has forced Marvel to reconsider its plans to center the next phase of its interlocking slate of sequels, spin-offs, and series around Major's villainous character, Kang the Conqueror. I don't like how they did him with this, man. They did him dirty because he lost already. He was defeated twice. The bad guy's not supposed to be defeated until the last damn movie. Because there's nothing to look forward to. But yeah, we done whooped his ass twice. We can do it again. At the gathering in Palm Springs, executives discussed backup plans, including pivoting to another comic book adversary like Doctor Doom, which they should have done in the first goddamn place. But they would probably make his daughter or some shit, because that's what they're up to now. Like with Blade. I'm talking about his daughter. Everything's about their daughter. It's always somebody's daughter. Like, they're so busy trying to phase men out, which is retarded because the demographic that spends the money is men. Let's continue. But making any shift would carry its own headaches. Majors was already a big presence in the MCU, including as the scene-stealing antagonist in February's Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. And he has been positioned as the franchise's next big thing in this season's Loki, particularly in the finale which airs. What is this? Yeah, it's a couple days from now, on November 9th, and sets Kang up as the titular star of the fifth Avengers film in 2026. They should have ended this stuff after Endgame. Give it a rest. Just reboot the whole thing. Come out with something complete. Do Doctor No. Or they could have done Mephisto. Whatever. They should have just completely started with something new instead of dragging out this tired storyline. Marvel is truly fucked with the whole Kang angle, says one top deal maker who has seen the final Loki episode and what they haven't had an opportunity to rewrite until very recently because of the WGA strike. But I don't see a path to how they move forward with him. Beyond the bad press for Majors, the brain trust at Marvel is also grappling with the November release of The Marvels, a sequel to 2019's blockbuster Captain Marvel, which was terrible, that has been plagued with lengthy reshoots and now appears likely to underwhelm at the box office because it's played out. Nobody cares about Captain Marvel. Nobody. The book doesn't sell. Nobody cares about that. But they're hanging on to it because they don't want the name to go back to DC. Just let it go. It sucks. This is all an unprecedented turn of fortune for a company that has enjoyed a nearly uninterrupted string of hits ever since it started independently, producing its movies with 2008's Iron Man. That wildly profitable run accumulated in the $2.8 billion success of 2019's Avengers Endgame, a high watermark for the studio that has earned nearly $30 billion over 32 films. That's bang. They were basically printing money. And they should just ended it and then come out with some TV shows, hinting at the next bad guy. That's what they should have done. To continue the storyline they have now, they gotta let it go, man. It's tired. You gotta give things a rest. Give people a chance to miss it. Then they'll come back. Replicating that kind of phenomenon is never easy. However, the source of Marvel's current troubles can be traced back to 2020. That's when the beer bug of unknown origin ushered in a mandate to help boost Disney's stock price with an endless torrent of interconnected Marvel content for studio's fledgling streaming platform Disney Plus. According to the plan, there would never be a lapse in superhero fare with either a film in the theaters or a new television series streaming at any given moment. Yeah, you got to give it a rest, man. Got to give it a rest. Got to give people a chance to miss it. But the ensuing tsunami of spandex proved to be too much of a good thing, and the demands of churning out so much programming taxed the Marvel apparatus. Moreover, the need to tease out an interwoven storyline, so many disparate shows, movies, and platforms created a model of narrative that baffled viewers. No, I'm going to say too much of a good thing is bad, but too much of a bad thing is even worse. This stuff is bad. Plain and simple. It's not good. It's bad. You have a bunch of hacks who cannot write. They cannot write good stories. We saw that little chart they have for Star Wars. What they put as a priority is not interesting. It's very simple. Make good stories. Stick to the source material. They don't want to do that. This is what happens when you have hacks running the show. The Marvel machine was pumping out a lot of content. Did it get to the point where there was just too much and they were burning people out on superheroes? It's possible, says Wall Street analyst Eric Handler, who covers Disney. The more you do, the tougher it is to maintain quality. They tried experimenting with breaking in some new characters like Shang-Chi and Internals. That was Shang-Chi was so-so. It wasn't terrible, but it was so-so. Eternals, I haven't watched it. I just have like zero desire to watch that. I never liked the comic book, and the trailer looked boring beyond belief. I won't be watching that unless it's on at someone else's house. I just happen to be over. With budgets as big as these, you need home runs. That's the problem. You're spending too much money without good stories. You're so busy trying to push the message that you ruin it. It's the problem. They're trying to replace men. That's their whole thing. They're trying to replace heterosexual men in these IPs, and you can't do it. Whatever demographic likes something, that is the customer base. You cannot change that. No matter what it is, it's just not going to change. And as we see, it hasn't changed. They lost money because they pushed away the demographic that funded this shit from the get-go. But let's continue. The Marvels, which opens in theaters on November 10th, will struggle to get the ball past the infield, at least by Marvel outsized standards. The movie, which cost $250 million, Lord Jesus. And see, they're just spending too much money on these movies. Sees Brie Larson, a very unlikable person. The fan base does not like her. Plain and simple. And she says stuff that makes them not like her, man. She earned that. Reprising her role as Captain Marvel is tracking to open to 75 to 80 million, far below the 185 million Doctor Strange of the Multiverse of Madness, which was a terrible movie, took in domestically in his debut weekend last year. Director Nia DaCosta, the Marvels unites Larson's heroine with two superpower allies, Tiana Paris, Monica Rambeau, introduced in the 2021 Disney Plus series WandaVision, and Iman Vellani's Kamala Khan, first seen in the 2022 series Miss Marvel. But instead of seamlessly building on the success of Captain Marvel, this move resulted in 4 weeks of reshoots to bring coherence to a tangled storyline. You have people who can't writing story. That's like hiring my ass to write a story. I would suck. I'll tell you that now. I would be terrible at it. As far as producing and guiding the movie in a certain direction, I could do that. Writing a story, I can't do it. I just can't. It's not my skill level. How long is this thing? Ooh, this thing is long. I ain't reading all this. But I'll link it in the description box. It's too much to read. Their problem is you suck. You insulted the fan base, the people who spend money. You don't respect the source material. You suck. So you deserve to fail. You want people to buy this stuff, you must cater to the built-in fan base. The fan base already existed. This was a win-win situation, and they blew it. Same thing with Star Wars. Star Wars had a built-in audience, and they blew it. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. I'm not going to drag it out. The article is long. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It'll probably take like 25, 30 minutes. I'm not going to do all the talking and stop it. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. My opinion is too much of a bad thing. That's the problem. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you fellas in the next video. Peace.